here, right? He shoots his hand on you, boom! Turn that hip here, now turn your hip, boom!
Football is a family affair for this father and son. Yes, there's a special thing that happens between dads and their kids when those dads not only take care of their child at home, but on the football field as well. And while most proud parents at North High School get to cheer on their kids from the stands, Moss Carroll got to watch and coach his son Koa, the captain of the team, from the sidelines. So gentlemen, here we have a father and a son, but we also have a coach and his player. Break down this relationship for me. It has a few levels.
I ran a fitness center for 21 years, and the opportunity came up when my son came here to high school. I've trained athletes all my professional life, and I thought, what better job to do than train high school kids, but also be part of my son's high school career. I talked to my wife about the situation, and when it was all said and done, we both agreed that it was possible for me to do this. Now all I have to do is get permission from Coach Croce, who is the head football coach at North High. So his freshman season, I approached Coach Croce and gave him a little spiel about what I do and how I thought I could help them in the weight room. Not thinking anything about the field yet, right? My way in was through, working out, training kids and athletes. And he agreed to, give me a shot. We started doing that, and then 7-on-7 leagues started coming up. Like I said, we didn't talk about anything on the field yet. I was happy just to be here, be part of this. And Coach Croce said, oh, we'll see you at, this and that. I said, oh, you want me to come? He said, yeah, why not? So, that's how I got started on the field also. So as the summer went on, I was out there all the time. And then when, we were gonna get into pads is when I finally realized what he was, what he was doing for me. And I tell him all the time how much I appreciate it. I never dreamed of being able to do this, right? And he helped that dream come true. And I'll always appreciate that, and I'll always be there for him, no matter what.
You are getting quite emotional just even talking about this. And saying the word this, you've used that a few times. What is this to you?
This is more than just coaching. I have a passion for, kids. A lot of the kids, come up, maybe not such a broken home, but not a home where my son was lucky enough to come up with, where, we were able to show him love all the time, also teach discipline. We were able to get him everything he needed and have a better life than we had growing up. But I know that the kids sometimes don't have that male role model in their life that is needed to be a productive human being or a good person. Those ones that don't have that, they tend to drop off and do bad things. So I have a passion of, not trying to save all of them, but the ones that I can try to help, I have a passion for that. That's why I've always given the kids opportunities to come train with me, come to my house, or I'll meet them here at the field, at their house. If they can't make it, I'll pick them up, because I know not everybody has that opportunity. And as long as I can do that, I will. If I can help somebody feel better about themselves, help them, become a better person, I'll do it.
Moss, a former star student athlete himself, graduated from Gardena High School and went on to train everyone from amateurs to pros. His 6 brothers and 2 of his sisters attended North. You could say that Saxon pride never left him. Here we are in the North High gym. Koa, most kids at high school like to get away from their parents. It's kind of a thing. But here you have your father saying, yeah, no, I'm not only gonna, hang out with you at school, I'm gonna work out with you, I'm gonna coach you. How did that make you feel? And was there any hesitation, or you were on board with that decision?
I was on board with it right away. My daddy's like my best friend, so it means a lot that we get to share the wins, the losses, everything. It means a lot to me, because most kids don't get to do that with their fathers, so that just means a lot. It means the world to me. He pushes me just as much as everyone else. Like, he's not overly harsh or anything like that. He's my dad, but he's also my coach, so he treats me as, when he's working me out and stuff, as one of the players too. So it's like no favoritism or anything like that. Also just one of the players. He does a lot for not just me, but the whole team. And a lot of my teammates like to call him Uncle Moss because, you know, he's more than a coach to them because he cares so much for the whole team.
Uncle Moss, just hearing your son speak about you and how people look up to you. No words, right?
No. Nope. It's what I feel like I was here to do. And, you know, I wouldn't change it for the world. I wouldn't change it.
But make no mistake, Moss has learned the difference, albeit the hard way, between being a protective parent versus a demanding coach.
Quick example of that is we were on the field a couple years ago at practice, and you know I'm a stickler for hustling, you know, not dogging things, and so coach always has him on the offensive side. And it was offensive practice, the ball was thrown to him, and I think he either dropped it or something happened where he didn't catch it. He was mad, and then he kind of grabbed it and started walking back. And I said, "What do you think you're doing? Hustle your ass back to the right." Coach turned to me and said, "Coach, take a walk." And I said, "Okay," and I did. So, you know, sometimes coach has to put us in our place, and he does it, you know, for a good reason.
You know, actually what I'm hearing, listening to you, you're not only the coach, but you're also the student too.
Oh yeah.
Sounds like you're just learning more in this role than you have in a lifetime.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's true. In some situations, I would be really vocal and challenge. Now, I think about it, and I know, you know, my actions could have some bad consequences, not only for me, but for the kids who rely on me.
How have you seen your father change being in this position?
Like he said, he takes more responsibility now. For instance, if someone did something dumb, like while driving, like cut him off or something, instead of beeping or saying something to them, he'll just calm down, think about the team and how it could affect all of us.
And like most students, Koa had the coronavirus pandemic to attend with regarding his studies and his sport. Moss, for his part, almost took the COVID crisis harder.
As a senior, as a football player, as a father, as a coach, how did this year affect you and your ability to stay passionate about the game?
Before COVID, I had planned to go to football camps and stuff like that, but because of COVID, most of them were canceled, so I didn't get to go. So I just kept working, me and my dad, working out at the house. Most of the seniors, most of them came over and we got to work out together and we just bonded too at the same time, so that was cool.
So you guys actually have transformed your carport into kind of a makeshift gym. It's almost famous in town. People want to be in your presence and they're coming to your driveway to work out.
And you know, if it wasn't for the kids, I had a hard time with this COVID, you know, the stop playing and practicing and stuff. I struggled. That I called coach a lot, you know, talked to him about it. The kids were the ones that kept me going. You know, seeing them all the time, coming to the house, knowing they're coming, knowing I have to be there for them, right? Just for a little bit of guidance or you know, whatever they needed, that kept me going. For a while, I felt like, you know, kind of like giving up, like just like, you know, what's going on, why even bother? You know, because changes, we don't like change. It's hard to adjust to change, especially when you're so used to doing something for so many years, right? You get programmed into it, structure, and that's how I am. I like to be structured, right? Certain things, certain time, and then, you know, when it just all changed and got stopped, you know, it's like I didn't know what to do. But, you know, knowing the kids were coming, and, you know, I know they look up to me. So that helped me a lot, because if I showed them how upset I was, that might make them start to, you know, act like I do or was, and I don't want that. My son here, he's the total opposite of me. He is quiet, you know, he's a good boy. You know, he minds his own business unless, you know, you give him a reason to not. I tried to raise him that way. I think me and my wife, we've done a good job of raising him. Justin, who's our oldest son, is his biggest fan. It's neat to watch. He's his biggest fan, biggest supporter. Don't say nothing about his brother. As little as Justin is, he'll try to bite your head off.
Tomas and Koa's relationship seems to be modeled after one from the generation before.
My role model was my dad. My hero or whatever was my daddy.
Are you trying to be that same role model to your son?
I'd like to think I am. I don't try to force it on him. I hope just over the years of hearing me and my wife talk to him and the way we do things, I hope it just naturally happens that way, because that's how it was for me and my daddy. Not only that he's a good athlete, what makes me the proudest is how tough he is. Not only physically but mentally, the way he goes about his things. Keep doing what you're doing. You've made me very proud. I couldn't have asked for a better son.
When you hear him speak about you like that, what comes up?
I think the same thing. Like he's my hero too, the person I look up to the most for sure. And I try to not be him, but before I make decisions and stuff, I sometimes think, what would he say? What would he do? Because most of the time, he does the right thing, and I look up to him the most.
Now that your son is off to El Camino College, you are here to be with your son, but you have bonded with the players so much. So the big question, will you stay as part of the team and coach the boys that have just grown to love you as a father, as an uncle, as a coach?
As long as Coach will allow me to be on his staff, I'm going to be here.